Everyone wants to know one thing. Am I doing okay financially or am I behind? Okay, so maybe you're 25 making 50K, if you're 32 making 90K, maybe you're 40 making 150, and no matter what you make, still feels like somebody's doing better or like you're not doing as good as other people. So today, let's break down the average salary by age in 2026 and see where you actually stand. And fair warning, some of these numbers might surprise you. So stay tuned. We'll start with the 20s. In your 20s, income usually climbs fast. So a lot of people are making potentially 35, 45, maybe 55, early 20s. And then it jumps late 20s. You might see 60, 70, 80 plus. But here's the issue. Social media makes it seem like you're not doing great. And if you're not making $1 billion by the time you're 18, you failed. Okay, no, but even 150. If you're not making 150 by the time you're 27, you failed. And mathematically, that's nonsense. Okay, mathematically and just statistically, that's nonsense. So in your 20s, if you're actually like skill building, you're job hopping, you're learning, you're making mistakes, and you're growing, you're doing fine. Okay, so as long as you're increasing income at least a little bit, you can try some different things, and then you gain some skills, you can get paid more in a couple years. You're doing fantastic. Okay. And honestly, I know people making 45, like my brother's friends making like 45, 50. They have a way better lifestyle and they're way happier than some of the other uh, kids that just by talking to them, like making a lot more, but then they don't seem as happy, like, or as healthy. Let's put it that way. So not everybody, but it's not. There's not that much of a difference between 50 and 90, I would say. Um, maybe you think so, but it's if you're making 50, but you're like extremely happy, you're going to the gym, you have more time, and but you're making 90, you have no time to even take a dump. Then I don't know. I don't know. Now I will say this: in your 20s, you do got to work a little harder. So if you if you have to work two jobs or work more hours as an entrepreneur or whatever, that's fine. But still try to hit the gym. I would say that. Definitely do that because it will help you with the job. Okay, so let's go to the 30s now. This is where pressure kicks in. Okay, this is where I'm at. I'm 32, almost 33. I know I'm getting old. Okay. No, not really. Gary Vee says I'm still a baby, so that's fine. You may now in your 30s, you may have kids, mortgage, you have a wife or a husband, and lifestyle creep, maybe nicer cars, bigger homes. Sometimes people think like, hey, I'm not making six figures, I'm behind because my friend here makes blah 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 blah, and you got the bonus, and like it doesn't matter, okay. But income and salary and bonus or whatever just doesn't equal wealth. And someone making 75K investing hard can outperform someone making 150 spending everything because of their lifestyle creep. Okay, so income matters, but behavior matters more. Okay, and quick real estate plug, naturally. Natural plug. Uh, instead of relying only on salary, for me myself, like I was like, I never really had a job. I was always like more of an entrepreneur, and I got into the real estate game early. So my salary, as in my commissions, I was like, that's just not gonna be enough. What happens if I can't sell or something happens to the market or something? That's why I started doing. I started house hacking. I have rental properties. I do today. I do Airbnbs, midterm rentals, long term rentals. So basically buying assets. Okay, and real estate is my bread and butter. We do have stocks, obviously, but with the surplus. But salary is powerful, but probably not as powerful as assets. Especially here in the United States, we live in this country, and you need assets. If you fight it, I would say not fight it. Just go move to Sweden because you're gonna keep losing. Okay, if you have money in your checking account or your savings account at the bank, at least use a high yield savings. Okay, but that's not going to cut it either. You have to buy assets in the United States if you want to get ahead. I don't know how else to explain it. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad or the Cash Flow Quadrant, so you can understand how money works, how some people have way more than others, and then come back and like rearrange how you're doing life if you want to do better. Doesn't mean you're a good or bad person. Good or bad people are good or bad whether they have money or not. This is just how the system works. Okay. Let's see. Now let's move to the 40s. Okay, so this is where pressure is peak. Okay, people at 40, they think they should have it all figured out. But like I said with Gary B, you're still a baby also, and you probably are. You could change your life pretty dramatically in your 40s, even if you think you're not doing well. But you may be thinking like 100K plus for sure, management role, business owner, investments, retirement, growing. But again, some people break out later, like maybe in their 40s. That's where you start making more. Others maybe started early. Don't compare. I would say probably not compare yourself to other ones. Like what does he make? The question is probably more like, am I improving every year? Like skills or whatever. I'm getting into like this little businesses and stuff like that with what's his name, Chris Corner with the Corner Office podcast or YouTube or whatever. It's like the Corner Office, but it's not. It's with a K. It's his name. And people turn their life around like very quickly with just a little business on the side that's fun. So you're never late, I would say. It's all probably mindset at that point. So let's jump into the 50s. I didn't even say, did I say income on the 40s? Let me see here. 40s, usually people are doing like 100K plus, usually somewhere around there. And then 50s, that's where like you kind of stay steady, I would say, maybe a little more, 120, 150, depending on your job. But this becomes less about salary now in your 50s. So it's more about like debt, retirement, investments, maybe paid off house, cash flow, freedom. So a person may be making 90K with no debt, investments, and paid off home. They're going to be far richer than somebody making 250, living paycheck to paycheck because they got a new home, 30-year mortgage, they got the boat, they got the blah, 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 they got the $5,000 dog that they need to take to the vet. And anyways, you get the point. In every 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, higher salary is not rich. That's the biggest trap and the biggest mindset trap. Higher salary does not equal rich. Okay. I mean, obviously, if you have higher salary and you understand that and you invest and everything, that's the best case scenario, obviously. But rich people, wealthy people, think and focus on owning assets, lowering bad debt, cash flow, investing in long-term growth. Alex Ramosi talks about this. Like, if you think about in decades, if you think in decades, you'll probably be way richer than the person thinking like, what's for lunch, you know? And it makes sense because like delayed gratification, and you just work and try to make it fun. So I'm curious, what age bracket are you in? Do you think you're doing good? Do you think you're behind? Most people think they're behind, but they don't realize they're doing a lot better than most people, and they just got to change their mindset and just be happier in the moment. So again, I'm the real estate guy. I'm your real estate guy. For anything, I got Airbnbs, midterm rentals, long-term rentals. I am a realtor also. Like, that's how I make my active income. And I'm in Raleigh. So if you know anybody in Raleigh, I can personally help them. I just put somebody under contract now. I have a seller as well, a couple other buyers. And but if you're moving anywhere else in the United States, I can connect you to a great agent, and it'll be a win-win. Any questions whatsoever, whether it's investing or a realtor, I know both. Let's combine them. Ask me the questions. The more value I bring, maybe you give me a lead and we both win. Maybe this channel gets monetized as well. So I'll catch you in a couple of days. See you.